traveling through those correctional facilities,
right.
I received love from everyone.
Yeah, that's
from
one
the Latin
thing.
Kings, from the Bloods, from the Crips.
Yes,
everyone,
that's one thing about
everybody loved me.
Your journey, to the other side, and we'll get there. But I remember a lot of people who was in there with you and just will always tell me how an honorable dude you are, and a man of your word. And it's like I knew that from you from the streets. But you have a story that you could be bitter, man. Like, hold on, let me finish.
Yeah.
Like, you know, for lack of a better term, like we said earlier, your charge was actually kind of defending your boss.
It was absolutely defending.
So in any other world,
not just my boss, my brother.
Your brother.
Yeah.
So in any other world, when you do that, you defend your brother, who is your boss, you actually get rewarded for that. There's no downfall to that when it's a real world. But this is the industry. You had to quickly learn that. Because you really had to go from 0 to 100 real quick. At that incident.
You know what happened with Diddy, with Brother Love? I don't really blame that on him now, as much as I did then, because I did go through a stage of bitterness.
You're human.
But in retrospect, I blame it more on the lawyers that were advising him
to separate the case
than him. Because his lawyers were there, to secure a not guilty verdict by any means. He's a corporation, $100 million corporation. And, they look at me as the enemy. Now, this is...
You didn't feel like
this is how many years ago? This is 20-something years ago.
20-something years
ago. So Puff is still young, relatively.
What is it, 1999?
1999, 2000.
Damn.
So he's much younger then. And, it's a lot of pressure. He's about to lose everything. I'm about to lose everything. I'm from that, though. Right? Diddy is a musician. He's a great musician, great executive, great entertainer. But he wasn't from that. So his response shouldn't be expected to be my response. And then when your lawyers and maybe other people are misleading you and misguiding you, I think that's how everything, fell apart. And he said that to me.
It's beautiful.
He said, man, I'm sorry, man. I should have never listened to those lawyers.
That's real.
And, I forgave him.
That's real.
But, it was traumatic.
Yeah, it still
So
stings.
I would forgive him, and then, you might hear me a few months later,
still stings.
going in on him. But again, that was over a decade ago, and I was in a different space then. And today, I'm all about, how I'm going to impact the world, building relationships, and forgiveness is a part of that. I can't carry 23 years ago with me in a negative way. I carried 23 years ago
deep shit right there.
with me, all the good from 23 years. The bad, I take the wisdom out of it, I take the lessons out of it, and I use it for the next 23 years, how I'm gonna master this chessboard.
That's hard.
Right?
That's hard. You know what I always say? Forgiveness is for you. Like, forgiveness is not for them. Like, whether I forgive them or not, forgiveness makes me a better person. That's for me.
So it's like with Diddy, when Diddy has supported me, he's been one of my biggest supporters. Him, Fat Joe. Those are my two guys. Like I said, Nas always reaches out.
Fat Joe went to see you in jail, though.
But see me in jail. I don't know if he came to Belize. Can't forget Busta Rhymes. Busta Rhymes, my brother. I was just with him and Khaled. Khaled is my guy too, another supporter for over a decade. But Busta came to Belize when I got out. Embraced me.
He tried to sign you too, though, right? I think that was a part of it.
No, he was just a brother. Gave me an Audemars Piguet.
Okay, I remember. Yeah.
When he came to Belize and just been my brother through and through, and Joe, my brother. But Diddy, in the most recent years, after we reconciled, you know, once I told him what I was doing in Belize, became one of my biggest supporters.
Right.
You know, whether it's telling people through his platforms what I was doing, whether it's, you know, financing what I was doing, and just giving me that moral support and that acknowledgement. And then recently they had tried to, after I got elected, pass legislation to disqualify me from the House of Representatives.
Wow.
To say that anybody that got convicted of a crime can't be in the House of Representatives.
In another country?
And you know, Diddy lost it when he heard that. And he got the revolt people, he got the publicists, he got everybody. He started talking to his legislative friends and was like, you know, we can't let this happen. You know, this young man changed his life. He's doing great things for his people. And, you know, he's black excellence. And I can't let this happen to my brother. And, you know, so he was very instrumental in, you know, when I came here, meeting with the legislators in Georgia, you know, recognition, highest regards to Rep. Erica Thomas and the entire Georgia Entertainment Caucus. And, you know, Corey Jacobs as well. You know, so Puff, you know, to me, totally redeemed himself and is my brother and I love him. And so I don't need to talk to him every day. I don't need $1 million from him. You know, the love and the support in the time of critical need is worth more than $1 trillion.
Right.
And that's important because when you expect money from people, when you expect material things from people, you will always be disappointed.
What's it called? Entitlement?
I don't know if it's entitlement in my case, because, you know, after 10 years,
Right, exactly.
you know, that's debatable. But what I'm saying is, I prefer to say expectation. Don't expect anything from anyone, and appreciate everything that, you know, God sends your way, and take it for what it is, you know, but just hold yourself accountable, navigate your path and your journey, and life will be much less complicated. So when there are no expectations, whatever someone does or contributes, it just enhances, it's just extra. But you know, I got what I got going, but that's still my brother. So my love doesn't have a price tag on it. So I don't love you because, you know, you sent the Maybach to Belize for me. I don't love you because, you know, you gave me $1 million for my campaign. I love you because you're my brother. And if we talk every day, if we don't, you're my brother and I love you.
That's fine.